Hi there, I'm Amber Nestor. I am the firm owner and founder of Amber Nestor Real Estate, formerly Trillium Cascade Real Estate of East Tennessee. And in today's video, we are going to talk about Roane County. Today is May 7th, 2026. It's about 3:05 p.m. Eastern, and I want to share with people who might be considering relocating to East Tennessee or maybe shifting their current location in East Tennessee to consider the Roane County region and the counties that wrap around Roane. And we're going to get into all of the exquisite beauty and amenities and just super cool things that Roane County has to offer. Roane County has experienced a lot of really beautiful and valuable growth and is projected to continue to do so. There are some very large projects happening with industry and government goals around the Roane County, Anderson County, Knox County, and Loudon County regions. So let's take a look at everything in beautiful Roane County. So one of the things that's really exciting and really new in Roane County right now is a brand new branch of TCAT. And where it's located and opening and launching in August of 2026 is super cool because it's right next door to the Roane State campus. This is going to bring together two really integral and important systems of education right there side by side in Roane County, just a moment from the lake. So in this diagram here, you'll see that right around this area is where the mouse is pointing. Hopefully that's going to pick up in the recording here. This is where the courthouse is, some of our little fast food restaurants, some Dollar Generals, a Dollar Tree. There's a Food City over this way. We have a little Kingston library that overlooks the lake, and several parks and a 3-mile hiking trail along the border of the waterway here. If you head north and then west to this point right about here, I think this is right close to the Weigels, Kroger, and Lowe's. So you head southwestwardly in just this nice simple curve, and you arrive at a little road where you take a right and you'll see Roane State on your left, and immediately after that you see the new TCAT building. So let's look at some pictures of the new TCAT building. I was just there a couple of days ago. So here's one of the images. The building is really beautiful. The landscaping's pretty. The parking lot is fresh. Lots of windows, lots of natural light in this facility. Another image here. Another image here. See these big, beautiful windows all throughout this facility and these nice little trails. This is from an upper section of parking lot. You can see these kind of foothill style mountains. And again, these big windows. More big windows. You can see that TCAT harem inside of there. So now you've taken a peek at the brand new TCAT location. That is just a really awesome development for Roane County, that new building there, and its placement just super, super wonderful for the community and for people in the East Tennessee region in general. So what I'm going to be doing in the next section of this video is toggling between several different mapping systems. One is going to be Google Maps. One is going to be Google Earth. We're also going to check out some things on marinas.com. We'll also take a peek at the Rockwood Marina website because I don't think this marina is actually on marinas.com yet. It's such a new marina. We're going to take a look at Kingston Parks and Rec because we have so many parks in Kingston, but also in Roane County. And then maybe if there's time towards the end, I might talk about a couple of pieces of land I have for sale in the Roane County, Loudon County area. So let's start talking about the marinas because this is a really great feature. Actually, let me back up. I'm going to first talk about what I like to call Central Kingston. It's like the towny area in Kingston. It's like the area where all your little conveniences are. Okay, so Roane County is known for Kingston, Midtown, Harriman, 10 Mile, and a couple of other little spots. So Rockwood. I knew I was forgetting one. Rockwood, very important. Big part of Roane County. Very beautiful, big part of Roane County. So, but I'm going to start as a point of reference where a very important crossroads is at, show you a specific part of Kingston. This way you can kind of anchor this into your memory as kind of a starting region. And then we're going to kind of head, you know, south, north, east, and west of this kind of really important historical crossroads in Kingston and Roane County. It's a good anchor point for your mind. So we are going to plug in, we're going to plug in Church Street, Kingston, Tennessee. Okay, here we go. So this road right here is called Church Street, and you see this big parking lot area here. And then there's several churches right through here. There is a Kingston Farmers Market on Saturdays overlooking the waterway here, which is just so beautiful and such a wonderful thing to take part in. But part of why I like to anchor the memory here is not just because of that great farmers market, but because of this crossroads right here. You see where these two main roads are crossing here? These are two very important and major roadways that can quickly take you north, south, east, or west. And it is just a very, very important crossroads. Because this is important crossroads both in history and road design for a local and state and national level, there's a lot of conveniences right here around this crossroads. There's also a lot of parks nearby. So we're going to take a look at these really quickly. First, we're going to zoom out. So this is kind of the little cluster of businesses here, and you see how they kind of extend this way. It's kind of like the strip in Kingston. I would call this like the strip in Kingston. And if you continue to head up this way, there's a Food City right here. Food City, there's a gas station and all these other conveniences. There's a water access point over here. Roane County is full of tons of water access points, okay? Where there's no way we're going to be able to get into all of them, but we're going to look at some key ones that are good anchoring points. So there's fast food restaurants, there's convenience markets, the courthouse, the police station, the zoning place, deeds records, all kinds of things through this strip here, okay? Then we also have Kingston High School, Roane County High School, right here overlooking the waterway. So beautiful. The Parks and Rec Center and the Voting Center is right here. This section here is called Kingston City Park, and there's all kinds of boat access area here. Kingston City Park connects also to Gravel Pit Park, right here, okay? Bathroom facilities at each. All of this is connected by about 3 miles of trail that borders the water's edge. So if you zoom in here, you can see this trail, and then it's here. The trees kind of hide it, but this is about 3 miles of trail, so it's looping around through here, coming this way, heading this way, then it comes down this way. Here's 58 Landing Park. Here's the Kingston Public Library. Here's another boat access area. The trail extends down here. It continues along the waterway here. And this is a historic site, Fort Southwest Point, where you can go. And then there's a sports area here. So this 3 miles of trail all along the water's edge through this nice, beautiful section of waterway connected by all these little parks. Super, super cool area. So anchor that kind of into your mind that this Church Street is kind of the center point of this 3 mile bend with all these parks dispersed. And then you have this very convenient strip in Kingston, I like to call it, okay? The middle school and the elementary school are just slightly over here. See, there's the middle school right there, and then the elementary school is right here. So very close, very convenient. Kingston and Roane County have so many churches. If that is something that's important to you and you want to find a church or several churches to attend, to get to know people, to connect with your community, Roane County has so many churches. And I think some of our local newspapers might even have a listing within them that lists all the churches so that you can have a directory for the churches. So let's take a quick look also real quickly here at this road here. So when you're heading this way, heading north and then southwest, there is a Walgreens and a Lowe's and a Kroger and some restaurants and some more restaurants and a Waggles all right here, super convenient. This is Roane County Hospital right here. This facility is absolutely wonderful. The staff here is phenomenal. I've gone over there for CT scans and x-rays and doctor's appointments and specialist appointments and all kinds of things over the years. Every time I have been there, it was just a blessing. I've been so impressed. The facility is beautiful. The grounds are beautiful. It's got lots of natural light. Just there's a water fountain out front. It is a really nice job that they have done with this over here. We're going to zoom out a little bit. Roane County Park. Roane County Park is an absolutely spectacular waterfront park filled with hiking trails, playground equipment, picnicking areas, swim areas, all kinds of stuff. I spend a lot of time at all of these parks. They are just such a blessing to the community. Over here is Caney Creek RV Resort. There's also the Caney Creek Marina and boat rental right here. And see, right there is Roane State Community College, and then right after it is the new location where TCAT is at. Another thing I really, really love about Roane County is that pretty much anywhere you want to go within the county, there's always just an easy road to take. Like there's always like a country road, hometown road kind of a feel way to get there. So if you're raising children that are coming of age, learning how to drive, I just feel like this is such a great community for them to exercise their driving skills safely and really build that skill and access everything that they need to access without ever really going much over 45 miles per hour. So it's pretty cool for that. I really love that about it. You're never overwhelmed with traffic or super high speeds or anything complex. You just have this nice relaxing driving environment almost everywhere in Roane County. So over here is Rockwood Marina and RV Resort. And it's right next door to Dr. Tom Fuller Memorial Park. And this is a huge, awesome waterfront park with boat access. And over here is the marina and all of their amenities. This is an absolutely gorgeous area. Another thing we might take a peek at is TVA. A lot of the waterways the shorelines are controlled by TVA, but what's really cool about that, and what a lot of people don't know about that, is that there's all this public land that the public is allowed to use in all these different really cool ways. So I'm going to show you how to look up parts of that in a moment. We'll also maybe take a look at TWRA. TWRA also has a lot of public lands that can be used for all different kinds of things by the public. Hiking, camping, fishing, hunting, just the enjoyment of the waterways and the lands and the islands and things. There's some land that has overlapped control, regulation, cooperation from TVA and TWRA. And there is another app we might take a look at, which is HuntStand, but we probably won't have time to get into that. But it can be a helpful tool to compare with diagrams with TVA and TWRA. Okay, so now let's look at marinas.com. So I'm just going to type in Kingston, Tennessee. Okay, so now we're going to go over here to our map, and we're going to look at our markers, and we're going to include boat ramps. Now this website will not include all marinas, harbors, anchorages, inlets, bridges, locks, lighthouses, ferries, landmarks, and ramps, but it will include a lot of them. So as I zoom out, you're going to start to see these red icons and these gray and white icons, and these are showing you where there are marinas and boat ramps. And again, this doesn't show all of them, but it shows you some of them. Another great thing about Roane County is you can get to Loudon County, Oak Ridge, and Knox County very quickly, and Blount County very quickly and conveniently. You can also get to Sweetwater and Athens and Meigs and Ray. So there's just so much to enjoy in this region. When you are in Kingston, around this general area here, you can head down the west side of the waterway, you can head down the east side of the waterway, you can do the same thing on this branch as well. You can head down the south or the north side of it. You can also quickly get over to all these branches. So it is just, if you love the views of the water, being on the water, boating, fishing, hiking, hunting, wildlife photography, just any of this natural beauty, so many parks on the lake, so many opportunities to enjoy an eatery on the lake. There's a really cool restaurant, or there used to be, I'm assuming they're still open, I can't remember what they're called, but they're over in Rockwood and they're right on the water. It's a steakhouse and they are fantastic, and the restaurant is just, has the best vibes, the best energy, so laid back, such a beautiful spot. I wish I could remember their name, but it's escaped me at the moment. Different marinas kind of have different personalities and different features. Some are cabin style, some have big wraparound decks, some have lots of amenities, some are more small town feel, some are more focused on boating, some are focused on extra things like being able to stay or have an RV or have a cabin to rent, or rent a boat or bring your own boat. Live music, events, holiday celebrations, all kinds of things, fishing tournaments. There's so much to do in Roane County. So let's take a little bit of a deep dive into the Rockwood Marina and RV Resort, since it is new and it was a huge project. Somewhere on the website, I think there is a map and diagram. But I'm just going to kind of scroll down a bit here and see if I can come across that little diagram. Well, I haven't quite found the diagram. They have like a pamphlet if you go there in person to pop by and kind of explore at their little office and convenience shop. But this, scrolling down through here, kind of shows you, they also have just lots of amenities. There's a few pictures of some of that stuff through here, so I'll scroll through it really quickly so we can make time for some other things as well. So Kingston Parks and Rec is a great place to contact. We also have a Rockwood. I think there's a separate Parks and Rec for Rockwood maybe. But and I think they're putting in a new pool, a refurbished pool over in Rockwood that's going to be opening possibly soon. Maybe this summer. We also have a great website called Roane Tourism, and if you go here to the events tab, it'll show you things, and this is getting cut off a bit because of the way that my screen capture is set and fixed, so it's cutting off the right side of the calendar here, but you can scroll through here throughout the year. One of our really loved events is our fireworks event, which it's getting cut off, I think, by the calendar, or it might not be on the calendar yet. But we usually have a big fireworks show in Kingston on the Water at Kingston City Park with tons of food vendors. It's a beautiful show. Sometimes there's live music. The whole probably 1.5 first miles of the trail on the northern end is just full of people coming together to celebrate. It's just a very great time to be part of. So with the TVA website, there's a section here where you can look up public lands. I think it's going to be under outdoor and recreation here. And there's all these different categories: boating, fishing, paddling, swimming, whitewater, bird watching, camping, day use areas, hunting, mountain biking, TVA trails, and then the recreation maps. I think there's a few different types of recreation maps, but you can just explore their website and check out the different types of maps and mapping layers that they have to find the features that you're looking to find. See how this shows a lot of boat access points? This symbol is for boat ramps. And as you zoom in and zoom out, you might be able to see more detail and more access points. Over here on Caney Creek Road, this is a really big, beautiful water access area here. So beautiful, so peaceful. It sits just south of Roane County Park and the Caney Creek RV Park. There's a way to get to a layer that shows you all the hunting land along the shorelines, but I don't have time to get to that layer right now, but it is there. TWRA's website, or GoOutdoorsTennessee.com, is where you go if you want to get a fishing license or a hunting license or a full sportsman's license. You can also go to your local Walmart and get those types of licenses. Any hunting center, hunting fishing center, and a Walmart in East Tennessee, you can get the in person what it is, and they have this great magazine guide that's free that you can take with you, so you can read all the rules and regulations, learn about all of the different public lands that there are to enjoy. It's a phenomenal resource. In the back half, there's a section where it will show you the name and the rules and regulations for each separate TWRA section. So for example, there's one called McLaughlin-Largan that's about 100 acres in Roane County. There's much bigger ones besides that one. That's actually probably our smallest one. But during that particular section, you can hunt deer between certain dates, and you can use bows and crossbows to hunt deer there, but there's no guns allowed for hunting deer there. And the season for hunting deer within McLaughlin-Largan is a bit shorter. That's because I would assume that's because it's a smaller public hunting area, and that is a more appropriate guideline for that particular section of land. Another great website resource is eregulations.com, and we're on the Tennessee portion, and I'm going to show you how to find, hopefully, that PDF file version. Here we go, PDF downloads. See this? This is what you want to look for the physical copy of at your local Walmart or gun store. Over here we have two major gun stores that I can think of. One is called Frontier Firearms, and that is more on the eastern side, the northeastern side of Roane County. Then if you head towards Rockwood on the western side of Roane County on your way to Walmart, Rockwood Walmart, there is another gun store. I think it's A1 Tactical, if I'm remembering correctly. But this is the PDF file. And again, it's cutting it off a bit, but it's got this great contents page, and it tells you where you can find all the different things that you need to know. There are phone numbers in here to contact different regions. When you have a question, if you're unsure about how to interpret a rule or a regulation, the folks that work for TWRA are so incredibly helpful. Another thing that I highly recommend people familiarize themselves with is the gentleman and maybe women who work on the waterways, that police the waterways and help regulate the waterways and keep us safe. They spend so much time boating these waterways. They are so incredibly knowledgeable. If you have a question about anything related to boating or getting out on these waterways, don't hesitate, just call them. They are so helpful and they are so happy to help. I'm just kind of flipping through here really quickly. I'm going to see if I can find the section where it explains some of the hunting regions, the hunting areas, the designated hunting areas that are managed specifically by TWRA. Paint Rock is one. That one has a lot of waterfront. A lot of the good spots on Paint Rock are really only accessible by boat. There's only a few places where you can get in by car or on foot, and you got to really study your maps carefully to find some of those spots. But that's another great thing. You know, if you're looking to buy property and you love getting out in the water, you love hunting, you love fishing, and you want to try to have a special access point that's private, that borders one of these public land areas, I can help you find land on or off market like that, so that you can have a unique experience that no one else is really able to have. We also have some really great deer processing centers in Roane County. There's one I know for sure in northern Roane, or just north of the Roane County line, and then there's one in southern Roane. I've used both of those. Can't think of the names of either of them right now, but my first few years in Roane County, I would alternate going from one, then going to the other, going from one, then going to the other. They both did phenomenal work. Scrolling. I should have looked at the contents page so I could see where that section starts that I'm looking for. So this is a really interesting section because it tries to help explain the abundance of public lands that exist in East Tennessee and across all of Tennessee. So there's a category called other hunting lands, there's federal refuges, there's TWRA public hunting areas, PHAs, there's hunting on the lakes, there's state natural areas. So there's just so much, and again, we're gonna get to so we're going to look at the wildlife management areas briefly, WMAs, that impact Roane. So up here, this is Region 3, and this is Roane right here, okay? And then you have two counties that kind of sandwich together this big section of waterway. That's Ray and Meigs, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing those correctly, guys. But Roane just sits on top of those two. So this is Region 3. So let's take a look at Region 3. There's Region 1. Look at so many places. Region 2. Tennessee has so much recreational land to enjoy, and I just think it's so underutilized. Okay, Region 3 starts here. So Alpine Mountain, Blackburn Fork, Bridgestone, Firestone, Catoosa, which is a massive, Catoosa Ridge, Charlotte, Fennel Neal, Chickamauga, South Cherokee, Cordell Hull, Edgar Evans, 4th Fractional, Fall Creek Falls, Hiwassee Refuge, HRP, Looper Mountain, Mount Roosevelt. I've spent some time in Mount Roosevelt. It is really beautiful. McLaughlin Largan, I've spent a lot of time there. This one, McLaughlin Largan, is like I mean, it's like 3 minutes from Kingston City Park. It's so cool. And it has great cell coverage. It's a beautiful place on the waterfront. And there's great parking options, multiple great parking options. Oak Ridge, Paint Rock. Paint Rock is so beautiful. So beautiful and vast. Everyone should at least once in their life. It's 1,600 acres. It encapsulates lots of shoreline on a section of waterway heading southwardly. It also includes some islands. It is so pretty. Everyone should have an experience on Paint Rock. Just go out on a boat, get your diagram of all of Paint Rock, and go explore the entirety of those shorelines and islands. Everyone should do that at least once in their life. It is such a beautiful experience. Standing Stone, Pickett, Prentice, Skinner, Tellico, Watts Bar, The Boyles, and Uchi. And now we're going into Region 4. So just so much there to explore. I'm trying to think, just from my personal experience, some little businesses I'd like to brag on, or some little spots I'd like to talk about that are just kind of special and helpful to know about. There's a dog park, Fort Paws Dog Park, right across the street from 58 Landing Park, which there's kind of like what do you call it? There's kind of like a little doggy playground area. And the public library is right here. We have a very cute, beautiful, overlooking the water up on the hill library. There's a big library over at the Roane State campus, and a lot of people don't realize this, but it is open to the public if you simply go to the front desk and you register. Let's see. Buddy's Barbecue is right here. Super convenient. There's a lot of new businesses coming in to Roane County, and a lot of big things just happening and expanding. Industrial things, energy related developments. So Paint Rock. This is where Paint Rock is. And you see how there's kind of this darker shaded green area? Paint Rock is these shorelines and 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 all these little islands. This is not like a formal official diagram of Paint Rock. It attempts to estimate Paint Rock's lands, but if you go to the TWRA website, or a website like OnX or Hunt Stand, you can find a more formal diagram of all of that stuff. It's good to study those diagrams and maybe print some out before you go explore. That way if you get to a spot where there's not a good cell signal, then you have those diagrams to reference and screenshot, save, whatever you gotta do. I have explored all of Paint Rock many times, and it is something I really love. Whitestone Inn is a pretty cool place. It's a place you can stay. It's got beautiful views. It's got all kinds of water access, beauty, walking trails. It's a pretty neat place. There's Long Island Wildlife Management Area. Sometimes you'll see a deer swimming across the waterway, which is always really fun. Let's see here. This section here is Grand Vista Bay subdivision, a massive luxury lakefront subdivision. Right here is Thief Neck Island, which is layered and managed by both TVA and TWRA. It is a wildlife preserve, but you can go there, you can boat around it, you can hike around in there. There's a Bayside, there's Blue Springs, there's Uchi. They have a great restaurant. I love their restaurant. beautiful wraparound deck that overlooks the waterway. And just great food. Every time I've eaten there, I've had a great experience, and they've done a great job. Okay, I think I'm going to show you this lot I have for sale over in beautiful Grand Vista Bay. So we're going to go through the photo gallery. This is 374 Walking Horse Trail, Rockwood, Tennessee, 37854 in Grand Vista Bay. Grand Vista Bay, one of the things I love about their HOA, other than the fact that they're one of the nicest lakefront HOAs in all of the eastern half of Tennessee, arguably in the US, is they have tons of water access area. They have a phenomenal website. It's very beautiful, very detailed, very informative. Their phone number is right here. Their email is right here. There's all kinds of resources up here. Architectural rules are right here. Bylaws and CCRs. Amenity reservations. Expanded contact information. They have the portal for their members. But this is a massive development that's been experiencing a lot of growth, but there's still quite a few lots available to purchase, both on and off market. I have a ton of off market lots in this development if you're interested in a deal. But also there's a lot of them on market if you'd like me to help you find one that would be a good fit for you. But let's get back to the primary lot that I personally have listed. So this lot, one of the things I love about this lot is it's near the entrance of the subdivision somewhat. So it's a slight time saver as far as like getting home and getting to where your home is built. I think there's 5 or 6 water access areas. I'm going to show a diagram of those in just a moment, but this is the one here that's closest. You could literally just walk to it. This is a closer look at the lot. There's a beautiful home built on either side, and it's 150 feet wide and about 234 feet deep. It's mostly flat. All of these blue circles represent a water access area in this development. And then this orange circled area here is the lot itself. And you see here's Thief Neck Island. I think that's the name of that island. And Grand Vista Bay, the southern tip of it there. And then this closer shot helps you see a little bit better how quickly you can get, I mean, arguably you could walk to any of these water access areas, just depending on, you know, how much you enjoy going for a walk. But I mean, that's not very far to any of these. This one's especially quick. This one's quite quick as well, honestly. You're just going boom, 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 and you're there. So another thing to consider is one of these might be good for sunrise and one of these might be better for sunsets. Didn't really think about that till just now, honestly, but definitely. This is showing you that Grand Vista Bay is right here. And if you were going to take a boat, you'd head this way and you could go to the Rockwood Marina and Tom Fuller Park, the new marina there. This is showing you proximity to some other major marinas and things. Just a section of the waterway in general. Again, this is Grand Vista Bay here. Kind of looks like a peninsula. You can see standing on the road how this lot is mostly flat. It gently rises up as you go towards the back. These are some photographs taken on a beautiful day at some of the water access area points. The views are just so pretty. This is the kind of place that you get in the boat and you just cruise for hours and hours and hours. You pull off by an island, you relax, You eat, you enjoy yourself, you go for a swim, you fish, you hike, you take pictures of all the beauty, you fly your drone, just whatever it is you want to do. There's a little bit of kind of a foothill mountainy type view down the road, standing in the road, looking that way towards the gated entrance there. And I mean, it's just kind of a little curve here and a little curve there. It's not like a big mountain view, but it's a neat like little view there. There's a trail cut in kind of left of center of the lot. In the fall, this is easier to visualize. Some of it might be trying to grow back up now that summer is upon us. This is standing at the corner of the lots, and honestly, it's just kind of showing you, you know, there's the road, this is standing at the corner of the lot, this is the frontage of the lot. There's this section of strip here that's clear. And now we're back at picture number 1. So the price as of today, May 7th, is only $31,900, which is a spectacular price. This lot is 0.8 acres, so it's just shy of 1 acre. And it's a great opportunity, great lot. I also have a lot for sale over in Loudon. This is lot 26, or the address rather, is 266 17th Drive in a cul-de-sac. It's a cul-de-sac lot. Let's take a peek at that, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about Loudon County and Lenoir City. It's very close to Roane County and Kingston and Rockwood, so it's good to kind of see how these two water access communities connect. So Tennessee National is the name of the development that this particular lot is in, and this cul-de-sac lot is just nice. It's just a nice cul-de-sac lot, and you're very close to the waterway. Tennessee National is a super big HOA, and it has a ton of amenities. Check out their website. It's very detailed, very thorough. They're best known for their massive golf course. They also have a restaurant. They might even have 2 restaurants within their development. But see how pretty this is? It is just really beautiful standing in that cul-de-sac there in front of the lot. This is a drone image looking down towards the cul-de-sac areas. There's the waterway. There's the golf club entrance. There's the marina entrance. A snapshot of the marina. A pool. I think they might have more than 1 pool, but don't quote me on that. There's another diagram of the lot. And you know, something else to consider, I am not sure, I'd have to go to a different screen, but sometimes what people have had me look into doing for them is maybe you want to buy up all the lots in that cul-de-sac so you own the whole cul-de-sac. I could definitely help you try and negotiate a deal like that if you wanted to do that, or buy up the lots that are on either side so you have an extra wide parcel. So I'd have to go to a different screen to see which of these lots are currently built on and not built on, but you might be shocked and amazed at the deal that I could pull together if you wanted to, you know, daisy chain some of those together. So in this diagram here, you can see this is Kingston, kind of what I call the heart of Kingston, because that waterway branches there and that waterway branches there. And Tennessee National is right here, and you go just a little bit farther east and there's Lenoir City. Another thing that kind of confuses people is Lenoir City is inside of the county called Loudon, but there's also a town called Loudon. And that town, the borderlines of that town are partly in Roane County and partly in Loudon County, and it creates so much confusion. But this is just a really cool spot to be in. You're right in the middle of these 2 major waterways and everything they have to offer. You're a really quick drive to everything. It's a great location. This diagram shows a little bit more detail about the golfing area. You can see how the golf course is kind of intertwined throughout the neighborhood and is in multiple places along the waterfront. Here's a section of marina down here. Another lot diagram. Another marina diagram. This diagram shows some of these highlighted public lands areas in orange. This is showing a bit of topography. This just shows from a drone some of the beauty of the neighborhood and the golf course and all of its unique features. It's just a very beautiful, special place for sure. If you want to check out the website for Tennessee National, just go to TennesseeNational.com. And again, very thorough, very detailed. Let's look at the property map. This diagram, let's see here. Well, the way that I have my screen sized at the moment is not exactly helpful, but if you go to open it full screen, you'll be able to navigate and look around and see everything better. But you can see most of it here, part of it. Amenities. Let's see. Let's talk really quickly about places to stay. Let's say you're coming from another county or another town and you want to stay in Roane or in Loudon while you are kind of exploring the area. There's a couple places I would recommend for convenience. One thing, you can check out Airbnbs and VRBOs. Sometimes it can be probably a little bit hard to book one of those last minute. If you're trying to book something more last minute, there's two hotels that are kind of convenient that I recommend. So here in Kingston, there is a Super 8. And it's not the fanciest place, but it is super convenient. The location is super duper convenient. And if you're wanting to explore Roane and Loudon, or maybe you're wanting to explore more of like this particular section of Roane, it's convenient for exploring this section of Roane. Then over in Lenoir City, let's see. I am a big fan of the Holiday Inn Express. There's one in Rockwood in the western portion of Roane County. This is the one over in Lenoir City. So if you're going to come spend, say, let's say maybe you're going to spend 6 days exploring Loudon County and Roane County, you could start out in the Rockwood Holiday Inn Express and explore that west side of Roane. Then you could stay for the next, that's like day 1 and 2. Then day 2 and 3, you could stay in the Kingston Super 8. And then you could spend, so day 1 and 2, day 2 and 3, or sorry, day 1 and 2, day 3 and 4, and then day 5 and 6, you could pop on over to the Holiday Inn Express in Lenoir City. I love the Holiday Inn Expresses. I've noticed when I've stayed in them, they usually have really great internet quality, which is helpful when you have things you've got to keep up with that are important for business or whatever it might be. This section of Lenoir City here, I like to call it the Strip. There's just tons of restaurants and businesses, and there's also a brand new Planet Fitness over here, and I'll show you where that is. That's the brand new Planet Fitness in Lenore City. I absolutely love it. There's lots of other gyms, but I like that Planet Fitness. They have the, $25 a month. You can go anywhere in the country that there's a Planet Fitness. Their shower facilities are great. Their equipment's great. Their vibe is great. They have the spa area with water massage tables, chair massage, all different kinds of tanning beds, red light therapy, etc. They've done a great job with their business model, and it's incredibly affordable. Their hours are usually pretty extensive. They vary from location to location, but brand new facility. Their water massage tables are spectacular. So are their massage chairs. Let's see here. So let's take one last peek at this branch of Waterway, this branch of Waterway, and this branch of Waterway. Kind of looks like a big capital M. And then, if you wanted to stay a few more days in Tennessee and explore some more, I would highly recommend staying at the Holiday Inn Express in the Maryville-Alcoa area for a couple of days, and then come over to Townsend and stay in, let's see, there's a Best Western over there that you can usually get a last minute hotel at. And then you can pass through Wares Valley, and really you should spend a couple days there as well. Check out the Missing Link section of the parkway. It's gorgeous. The drive through Wares Valley is unforgettable. And then spend a couple days in Pigeon Forge and a couple days in Gatlinburg. Then you could come up around here to explore Douglas Lake. Over here in this section called Bainbury, there's a golf course that's waterfront that's really beautiful. I've spent some time there. Also, when you're in that area, let's look it up, hang on. Carver's Orchard is a must-see if you're passing through that area. You go in there and there is, I'm hoping I remember, yeah, Cosby. You walk in, at least years ago, this is the way it was. You walk in there and there should be some big pink signs along the road as you get close. But it's just this massive, beautiful cabin-style barn with every kind of apple you've never heard of that's spectacular, and you get this big wicker basket that you get to keep, and you fill that puppy up to where it is overflowing with the most delicious freshly picked apples you've ever tasted in your life. And then they have a gift shop and a restaurant. It's a really special place. Anytime I'm out that way, I'm definitely stopping by Carver's. But you can explore Douglas Lake. If you want to pop by the golf course, Bainbury, they have a little pool over there. And then Cherokee Lake. So those are and then hey, maybe before you leave, also explore Norris. Why not? But that would be the way I would plan my trip. And now I'm ready to just go on a tour of East Tennessee myself. Thinking about all my favorite places that I've spent time over the years. Anyway, I hope you learned some new things about East Tennessee, especially Roane County and Loudon County a little bit. I'm going to leave you with one more thing. So this is a Tennessee county map diagram, and it's not the greatest. I just grabbed this one real quick off the internet. It's quite blurry. It's really not the greatest. You can find lots of others, so I encourage you to find a better one than this. Find one that really highlights the waterways, okay? Because I can look at this and I can envision the waterways because I've looked at these maps for so many years. But if somebody's not familiar, they're just seeing the county lines looking at this. But I'm envisioning where all the waterways are in relation to the county lines. But here's the way I like to think about East Tennessee. As someone who, my father brought me here when I was about 7, and I've been in this region ever since. I think about Knox County as though it's the center of a sunflower. And all these counties that hug the sides of it are like the yellow petals of that sunflower, okay? And to me, when you find property that is zoned county, but it's right outside of Knox County lines, that's like the sweet spot. So what you really do is you figure out, well, which section of Waterways and which section of towns is kind of where I feel like I want to be. And why, figure out what it is about that you love, and find some land and build there, or find a house and buy there, and stay there for a couple of years, and then find some more, and then just collect. Just start collecting property, wrapping all the way around this outer perimeter of Knox. And then you could property hop, right? You could stay in Roane one year, then Loudon the next year, then Blunt, then Sevier, then Jefferson, then Granger, then Union, then Anderson. Or you could maybe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you could hop every 8 months. And then your other ones could be Airbnbs that you rented out. And so you'd spend a month here, then you'd spend a month here, then you'd spend a month here, and you'd just rotate. And anytime you needed to get into Knoxville, you needed the big city stuff, it's there. You can get to it in a snap, but you don't have to be in it all the time, So I think that would be a really cool way to invest in this region if that's something that you wanted to do, or a way to plan for enjoying your retirement, accumulating some rental properties and enjoying them in a little rotation throughout the year. Maybe there's one that's your favorite to be in a certain time of year. Make sure you schedule that one to be open for yourself for that part of that year or that month in that year. Maybe there's an event that you really love during that month, so that's the one you plan to be at for that part of the year. There's some super cool shopping in Sevier County. There's some super cool shopping in West Knoxville, Turkey Creek, Farragut area. All these different things. Each one of these counties has different things that makes it special, makes it unique, makes it beautiful. And then you want a little more adventure, you get a little bit more rural, and you'll really see some spectacular waterfalls, hiking trails, mountains. What do they call them? There's a famous park, and I can't think of what it's called. Okay, so Brimstone is one. Wind Rock is another one. And there's a bunch of other ones like that, where you take these ATVs and these off-road, and there's just hundreds of miles of trails and all this beauty to explore and all these little cool places to stay in, and caves you can go hiking in. One of my favorite caves is over in Townsend, Tennessee, Tuckaleechee. That's a really special place, and it's an easy one for the first time you go for a hike in a cave. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. This has turned into a really long tour. We're just shy of an hour right now. Again, I'm Amber Nestor. I'm the agent, principal broker, firm owner, and firm founder of Amber Nestor's Real Estate of Tennessee. I serve the entire state of Tennessee, but focus most of my time on the eastern half. And this is my cell number. Please text, call, and leave a voicemail. It is not possible to be a bother. This is my email address. If you email me, please send me a text and let me know that you sent me an email. My previous firm name was Trillium Cascade. That was another firm I owned and founded. And yeah, this is just some more stuff on my website. But I would love to talk to you about your goals, help you get to know and understand everything East Tennessee has to offer, so that you can figure out where you want to live, where you want to vacation, where you want to invest, where you want to have rentals, and all that great stuff. All right, thanks again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.